previously elected member for Bodden Town from 1995 to 2000, I am familiar with the process. I know how things work. I've always worked diligently to beautify our community. Savannah is a part of the fastest growing district in Cayman, and we need to ensure our environment is taken care of. Over the years, I've led many neighborhood cleanups and spearheaded various beautification projects in an effort to maintain the environment that we live in and instill community pride in our residents. If elected, I will be able to work on a national level to ensure we have stricter littering laws and better environmental protections and create other ways to make sure we take care of our beautiful islands.
Hi, welcome everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone that's here with us in person and also to welcome all of you watching on Facebook. We are broadcasting on Heather's Facebook page and also on YouTube for the Community Creates Country YouTube page and also with Cayman Life TV and Cayman Mall Road. So hope you all are enjoying watching from wherever you are. My name is Rhonda Kelly and I have known Heather and her family for over 35 years. And it is truly an honor for me to host this meeting tonight. I have lived in Newlands for the past 31 years, and we all know that Savannah and Newlands are married. So it is with great pleasure that I'm here for the people of Savannah, but also for Newlands. I'd like to thank you on behalf of Heather for attending her first public meeting. Just a couple housekeeping announcements. The restrooms are located to my right, over in the corner there. And if you're sitting in your cars, welcome. You can listen to the meeting on your radio by tuning in to 88.7 on your FM dial, and you can hear everything right inside your car. I'd now like to welcome the candidates to the stage that are going to join me up here. First, I'd like to welcome your candidate for your representative for the Bodden Town East District, Mr. Osborne Ozzy Bodden.
Stand up for your right. Get up,
Hello,
stand up.
Good to see you.
Stand up for
Thank
your
you.
right. Get up, stand up.
And next, I'd like to welcome my candidate for the District of Newlands, Mr. Wayne Panton.
Don't give up the fight. Preacher man, don't tell me heaven is under the earth. I know you don't
You're
know
welcome.
what life is really worth.
And now it gives me great pleasure to bring to the stage to join us the lady that we're all here for tonight, Miss Heather Bodden.
Stand up for your right. Come on, get up, stand up. Stand up for
And now I'd like to ask Miss Drew Bodden to join us for the singing of the Cayman Islands National Song.
Good night. Oh, land of soft, fresh breezes, a verdant tree so fair, with thy Creator's glory reflected everywhere. O sea of palest emerald, merging to darkest blue. Whenever my thoughts fly Godward, I always think of you. Day verdant island set in blue Caribbean sea. I'm coming, coming very soon. A beauteous isle to thee. Although I wander far, my heart enshrines thee yet. Homeland fair Cayman Isle, I cannot thee forget.
Thank you so much, Drew. And now we'd like to start our meeting off well by having Mrs. Joan Porter come and bless our gathering and the proceedings.
Through lovely islands in the Caribbean Sea, where the tropical breezes blow and you can always feel free. Room up our scale or walk for sandy beaches.
Thank you.
Relax and enjoy.
Good night, everyone. I'm very thankful to be here tonight to do this honor, to bless the Cayman Islands with an open prayer. It's a serious time we are living in, and we need God to direct the heart and mind and soul of people. So I'll pray that God will do His best. Oh, blessed and most righteous God, I come before you tonight with this group of people here on our beloved islands. Lord, you see the need, and you promise if we call upon you, you will hear us and answer our prayer. And tonight, Lord, I stand here calling upon your name for you to have your mercies upon us. As you have been in the past, Lord, you are so good. And we thank you for your faithfulness, Lord. We have committed sin. We ask your forgiveness. We thank you that you protect us from the harms and danger of the storms in our pathway. And we thank you, Lord, that you extend your mercies. It's not because of our good doings, but it's because of your mercies. We thank you for helping us in the pandemic. Lord, we pray that you just continue to have your way and help us, Lord. And Father, as we come to this time of election, you know, Lord, in the word that you said, where the mind of the leader go, the people will go. And Father, we want to choose the people that stand on your word, that believe in you, Lord. And we pray that you will just help us, Lord, to choose the people that stand on your word. Bless us tonight, oh God, as we continue to look forward, Lord, to a good outcome. Victorious, Lord, for your people that you said to lead the country. Lord, we thank you and we bless your name. And as we say, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Good night.
Amen. Yes, we can sit now. Okay, sorry. All right. So now it gives me pleasure to introduce our first speaker of the night. Stephanie Foster is the daughter of Denise DeMaccardo and Steve Webster of Boddentown Breakers. She's a pioneer woman. Stephanie is a leader and widely known as a motivational mindset influencer. She has been the guest speaker for many support groups and motivational podcasts and Zoom coaching. both locally and internationally, and impressively manages a blog and mindset space online. Tonight, she is here to share with us. We are happy to welcome to the stage a faithful friend of Heather and an enthusiastic supporter. Help me welcome Stephanie Foster.
Good night. Good night, Savannah. Thank you for that welcome. I am honored to be here tonight to speak about my dear friend, Heather Bodden. My name is Stephanie Foster, formerly Stephanie Webster. I have been a resident of Savannah for the last 14 years, and my roots extend deep into the soils of Grand Cayman. I met Heather in 2007 when I joined the Miss Cayman Islands Committee. I remember her bright demeanor as she greeted the young ladies. I remember her stern and admiral energy as she coached them on living strong, believing in themselves, and living a life of service. Not only should they win, but as they prepare and for the remainder of their reign in this thing called life. Heather has been handing out batons for years. Her words, always live a life of service, resonates her entire being. Heather Bodden has been an active member of our community for many years and is not an unfamiliar face. As a past elected member of parliament, Heather has swung the ropes and charged the fields of oppression in our community. When it comes down to it, leadership is about much more than having an A-type personality. It's about being compassionate to people from all walks of life. Heather has thoroughly investigated the matters in Cayman and has addressed her community, social issues. She delivered women's rights, women's safety, educational programs, after-school programs, and she has enforced the laws for a clean and safe Cayman. She has fought and she has screamed and she has carried our voices into every arena that she stood. And after all of this, she's going to do it again and again and again. April 14th, Savannah, raise your volume by making her your elected candidate for Savannah. When I met with Heather a few nights ago, just to simply congratulate my friend for walking towards yet another arena to join a very long, ongoing battle in hopes to become a victor, I had no clue that I would be sharing with you tonight. Heather asked me to join her in her public meeting in support of her purpose. My question to her right then and there was, Heather, what is your platform? In that very moment, a young woman came into the office to discuss her unemployment and childcare issues. Heather gave this young lady a seat at our table to listen to her and to offer her support. Without saying, I knew Heather's platform was solid, and it was to engage, direct, and empower. Her effort to inspire young people across Cayman Islands to take charge of their future by completing their education past high school, whether at a professional training program, a community college, or a 4-year college or university, was solid. The lady that I met in the room so many years ago was still passing out batons to the youths. I want to ensure that my children have a chance to make a living and gain a solid education in this country. I want a strong driver of principle and logic, a fighter for their honor. I want an informed and focused adult to lead the future of this country, the country that my young lady and my young man will live, their country, your country. I want a golden baton to be passed out to our future generations. Heather continues to break change and bring change. I'm honored to have a seat at her table. Heather has been serving her community and country for a very long time. She knows you by name, and she wants to do so much more for you, our Caymanian people. But this can only happen when you place her in that position come April 14th. We are living in times of rapid change, a time where we need to listen closely and decide wisely. We need to ensure that who we elect is of wholesome character and pure intentions, persons of integrity who stick to the issues. We need to be careful of anyone who attacks and threatens the livelihood of our fellow Caymanians. Anyone whose example as a leader is tarnishing the young minds with hate, name-calling, and disrespect. People mirror leaders, just like children aspire to be like their parents. This is currently, and there is currently, no regard for what children are seeing and what they're exposed to. This country is in need of change in a bad way. And I thank you, the fellow lady that was up here, for that prayer. It was very powerful. As a young Caymanian daughter, mother, and woman, I am experiencing many levels of life living through several governments. Great leaders are honest about their strengths, weaknesses, and expectations. Cayman needs to be led by a leader who is integral, who continues to lift up their fellow countrymen, up to speak life into this land each and every day. A leader who would make informed decisions and be proactive rather than reactive, who will balance logic and exercise emotional intelligence. A leader that will protect each corner of our country and make it remain the unique gem it is for us. And these honorable candidates behind me, Osborne Bodden, Wayne Panton, and my friend, dear Heather Bodden, have proven their hearts and their purpose to us over and over, and they will continue to do so. This year's election goes beyond who will be elected. Remove the who, people. Remove the who you know and question their why. Let me say that again. Remove the who and decide on their why. Inspect their hearts and go ahead and question yourselves. Go into every district and know who these people are and what they stand for. A person's character, morale, is it healthy for our nation? Are they doers? Are they movers? Are they fighting together? Or do they create divide? These are serious questions, Cayman. Are you a nation of courage who will stand beside Heather and candidates with like purpose to fight honorable and just for this country? Are you a nation of humility, like Heather, to know when and how to make informed decisions for this country? Or, sadly, are you a nation of followers who blindly and easily accept the same blasphemous tales of skewed woven cotton balls that appear just sweet? Ask yourself these questions. What is the reason you're electing a person to lead, guide, and protect you and your country? Why would they want to defend our honor? Is it for true love of me, true love of you, of the people? A soldier fights for their country, and a soldier serves. My friend Heather Bodden has been a tireless soldier for decades. Tonight you are looking at 3 brave soldiers on this very stage. Thank you. Your vote is your voice on issues affecting housing, education, employment, and healthcare. Choose wisely. You have the power to decide on the quality of life you want for yourself and future generations. Voting is your chance to stand up for these issues. April 14th is your most powerful day, Savannah. It is a day where you can bring back democracy to our country. right here in the very electoral district where democracy was founded 190 years ago. The first meeting to discuss the possible legislative future of the Cayman Islands took place right here in Heather's backyard, Savannah. Right here, you have the power to make the change. We need to change the narrative of it is what it is that is so loosely spoken amongst the community. We need to foster more positive thoughts about the leaders of our country and those who we will elect to become our leaders running in this 2021 election. Thoughts become actions, actions build character, and character creates change on whatever spectrum. Please ensure that your change is on the positive bar. Let's not fight the people, for they need to be on a team. Let us listen to them for what they want to be heard. Let us work with them, for they want change. And let's build with them, because that is what community is. Community creates country. So come April 14th, don't look too far. She's number 1 on the ballot for Savannah, Miss Heather Bodden, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen and young voters, I thank you tonight.
She said it. Well, girl, that was awesome. Okay, wow. What do we say after that? Wow. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Stephanie. As Stephanie, alluded to about how important your vote is, I'm just going to throw that in there now for people watching online. If you have somebody overseas, the deadline is you can still get a ballot to vote from overseas. If you have family overseas, make sure they vote. Make sure their voice is heard. Whether they're on island or not, they need to vote. And in an election where you're single member constituencies, every vote counts. Okay, now I'm going to move on to Heather loves her family. Anybody who knows Heather knows how much she loves her family. She loves the children in her family, but you know what else? The children in her family love her. Whenever you see her around any of her nieces, nephews, grandnieces, you can just see the love pouring out. And there's one that said she wanted to be on the stage for her yaya tonight. Okay, her 5-year-old grandniece, Sienna Hartman, is here, and she's going to come up and give a little short message for her yaya tonight. You want to give yaya a hug first? You can stand right there.
Hi everyone. Vote for number 1.
Woohoo! Who's number 1, sweetie?
Vote for number 1, Yaya.
Woohoo! You okay? Say thank you. Awesome. Go right there to Miss. Thank you. I think we need to actually next time put Yaya in Heather Yaya Bodden, vote Yaya. Okay. As a woman and as a business owner, you can gather I'm pretty passionate about the need for strong, honest, compassionate women in leadership in our country. Right now, we're going to watch a short video of Heather's views on this subject.
As a woman, I feel compelled to speak on behalf of all women who are currently underrepresented in government. We need to ensure that women have a voice in all the decisions being made that impact their lives too. Women need to feel empowered. Women are often paid less for the same work. and there are legislative decisions being made about health care and education that women have a unique and qualified position on. We should be part of not only the conversation, but the decision-making process. It is our duty to ensure that women are valued in our community and recognized as the role models they are for both our young boys and girls. If elected, I promise to represent all women in our community, ensuring that their voice is heard on the issues that matter most to you and your family.
It is now my pleasure to introduce another very strong and amazing woman. Maxine Bodden Robinson is one of Cayman's leading attorneys in the financial sector, a woman who is passionate about her country and having good representatives, a wife and a mother, and in Miss Heather's words, a powerhouse. Here to support and provide her endorsement of our Savannah candidate is Miss Maxine Bodden Robinson.
Good evening, Savannah. I can't hear you. Good evening, Savannah. That's it. Can I hear that again? You do see who's sitting on this stage, right? Good evening, Savannah. Good evening, Newlands. And good evening, Bodden Town East. Good evening, Cayman. What a beautiful evening. As we watch everybody going from east to west, look where we are. It is indeed my pleasure this evening to be here with you all, but especially to be here to endorse and support my good friend, my sister from another mother, Heather Bodden. And as you have just heard from her grandniece, so accurately put, known affectionately across Cayman as Yaya. Do I need to say more? But I will. Heather is a woman of faith. She's a woman of intense energy, a great fire in her to get things done, and she's getting it done daily. Heather is Savannah. She's a caring and compassionate woman. Let me say that again. A caring and compassionate woman. She never meets a stranger, and she's always willing to help, and she's never short of a kind word. Her community is indeed her family. Quite fitting. Community creates country. If we have lost sight of that in Cayman, people, I think we better pay attention tonight. Community creates country. Remember where we are in this world. Heather has and will always serve her community. This is why she was honored and awarded the Certificate and Badge of Honor for services to her community. And only recently, in January, at the Heroes Day celebration, she received another award, Officer of the Order of the Cayman Islands. Officer of the Order of the Cayman Islands. Who else running in Savannah can say that? You know what the citation on her award says? For devotion to sustained and selfless voluntary service within the community. Who else is going to give you that? Selfless and sustained. This is obviously no surprise to all of you, because if it is a surprise, you've been hiding under a rock. Come on out. You all know Heather. You know, it's amazing because sometimes I wonder how she juggles it all. But she does, and she's bright and cheery, and you never see a sour face. But don't look at too many of those other posters along the way and signs, because there's a lot of sour faces out there. She's not one of them. You know, I have a very long list and things I could tell you all about Heather and her accomplishments and contributions to her community, to people, to all of you. But if I did that this evening, neither one of them, and especially Heather, wouldn't get to tell you about all the great things that she has planned and things that she's already been doing in Savannah. So I will say this quite quickly. I have known Heather for many, many, many years. She never fails to champion the youth and the elderly, near and dear to her heart. In fact, she never fails to champion her people, all of you. She embraces the diversity that is the Cayman Islands. And she has a vision for Savannah that she will share that vision this evening. And particularly, like me, she has that great love of education. Now, everywhere I go in Cayman lately, I hear the phrase or the words, however people want to put it, these are crucial elections. What does it mean? There's a lot of fancy videos that I keep seeing on social media. And all of these candidates telling people what's wrong and what they can do better. Exciting. Well, I'm not quite sure about that. Will all of those people who see it so wrong be there when you need them? Are they there now when you call them with an issue? Is Heather not sitting in that office down there every day or in her home here, and she's always able to be reached and will call you back if she can't pick up the phone then because she's dealing with somebody else? What did Stephanie say just now? You know, all of these new candidates talk about, I believe I have what it takes to be your next representative for Savannah. I believe. Well, I will not apply the word believe to Heather because I know, and you know, she has what it takes. She is already representing the constituency of Savannah. We all know that. You know, every day that God gives Heather the breath to get out of her bed, even when she might not feel like it, she is there for each and every one of you and for everybody in this country that comes across her path. That's the type of individual we are talking about. We're not talking about somebody who can get out and say, oh, well, I was part of a service club. I did this at Rotary or I did it at Lions. This is a woman who's always there. She doesn't need a service club. She is a service club. You know, many people see Heather as that quiet and gentle and, you know, doing her own thing. Oh, she is. She's definitely quiet and gentle. But man, she's full of passion for Cayman and her people. And all those who have come and joined us and called Cayman home. That is never ending. She is full of energy, full of generosity for all of us. And you know that. You know that because, again, you see that every day. You can touch and feel that. That's a tangible something. You're not wondering in your mind who this woman is. You know who she is. So when we talk about action and getting things done, Heather is already getting it done. Can I get an amen? Tell me, have you ever attended an event in Savannah and Heather not been there? Chances are Heather organized it or had something to do with it. Where have all the other candidates been? Where have they been? But they have all the answers to solve all our problems. God help us. All the talk of how they will make our lives better. Where's their track record? I'm running, but I don't know where I'm going. Where's the track record? Huh? Listen to me, Savannah, and all of you listening out there across Cayman. Your vote is yours. That is yours. It's almost like a property right. You have to take great care where you put your X come April 14th. You cannot waste that vote. That is the crucial part of these elections. Emotions, we all have them. We saw that play out in the last election, not so great. Don't make it play out in this one. Emotions have their place. But when you take your right and you go ahead and throw it away, it is gone for the next 4 years at least, and perhaps longer. Think carefully. There are a lot of facts going around. Some are true and some are not. Think carefully and do not waste your vote. Vote for the best person. Do your homework. And you know what? Vote for those people who can collectively move our country forward for all of us. And you know who that is? That is Heather. That is these three individuals sitting on this stage this evening. You are not going to find people more true of heart for this country than these three people. Heather Bodden for Savannah. Wayne Panton for Newlands. And Osborne Ozzy Bodden for Bodden Town East. There is work to be done, Cayman. Work to be done. And these three people, Heather, these three people, her and her colleagues are aware of that. You know, the last year, 2020, we all want to put it in a plastic bag and bury it somewhere if it wasn't bad for the environment. But we do want to get rid of it. It was a tough year with the pandemic, and unfortunately, something we never thought we'd see in our lives, but we're still living with. And it's not done yet. But you know what? The fact is that we can come together like this evening. All of you sitting here, in the cars, people elsewhere, the things that we did today. We are incredibly blessed. And we should never, ever take that for granted. We are blessed, Cayman. Do not take those blessings for granted. You know, in many ways, we kind of need to rebuild certain things that happen because of COVID, amongst other things, and it just extrapolates sometimes and gets a little worse. Many of our people are hurting, and some of you might be sitting out there and listening tonight. And in many ways, we're all hurting for something. You know what? These people know that. Heather knows that. Heather sits, what did Stephanie say a while ago? Heather sits in that office every day. Morning, noon, night. She knows about people hurting. She knows how to help. That's our compassionate person. That's what you need. Don't sit there and talk about, oh, she's just a community person. What is country without community, people? Do you know what you are talking about? Pay attention. Without it, there is nothing. As I say again, do not take all those blessings for granted. Heather knows what's going on. She sees it every day. She faces it head on. She does not cringe away from any of it. You call her, she is there. How many other representatives have you tried to reach who will not return your call? Who will not engage with you? But they have all the answers. They don't want to hear your troubles. But you know what? Heather does, and she's already helping you with them. Amen? This whole issue about people talking about change. We must change in Cayman. We must change, we must change, we must change. It's a great buzzword. What does that mean for all of us? And again, so many of the other candidates talk wholeheartedly about this change. Heatedly discussions. Do they offer solutions? Do they offer you any solutions when they start talking about the change? Think carefully. Listen. You have the answer already. Do not be fooled, Cayman. We are all too smart for that. Way, way too smart. And any change, bear in mind, must benefit all of us. It cannot benefit those so-called representatives alone. It must benefit all of us as a country. You know Heather's track record, and you know she has no secrets. She is Savannah. Everything she does is a labor of love for her people. She's a woman of heart. She has the experience. She has the energy. She has the drive and the compassion to serve Cayman and these Cayman Islands. And particularly, she has that drive, that compassion, that fire to serve Savannah. You, the people of Savannah, you have the power. Don't sit there feeling that you don't. You have that power. that right, that vote that is given to you to determine what happens on April 14th. That is one day, a few hours in a day, for you to go and put your X in a box. What happens on that day will be with you at least for the next 4 years, as I said earlier, and perhaps longer. Think about what that means for you and your family into the future and for the future of these Cayman Islands. On April 14th, the change is making your voice be heard. We are not talking about a monarchy and passing on a crown like others are trying to do. This is a democracy, people. A democracy. There is no passing of crowns. And if you go down that road, God help you. Put your X next to Heather's name. Heather Bodden, number 1 on the ballot for Savannah. One thing you take away, all of you listening. Come up here with me. This is the woman, and you can't mistake her. The woman of passion, of energy, of fire for all of you. Savannah and Cayman. Do not forget that. April 14th. Heather Bodden for Savannah. Wayne Panton for Newlands. Ozzy, where you at, my bro? Bodden Town East, Osborne Bodden. Remember this. This is the team for Bodden Town and the team to help our country keep moving forward for all of us. Community creates country, Cayman. Do not forget it. That is the change we are talking about. It is a powerful change, and we all have a responsibility to ourselves to put that X in the right boxes. That responsibility to the next generation. Do ourselves proud come April 14th. Thank you all, and good night. God bless.
Awesome, sweetheart. Oh my gosh, wow. Oh my goodness. This is a dream night for strong women. Wow. Thank you so much, Maxine. That was amazing. All right, so now I get the pleasure of introducing our next speaker. I'm going to tell a little story, and hopefully I'm not stealing the story from him. But when the last election ended the way it did, Wayne called Heather and said, "What are you doing? We may have lost, but we still have work to do for our community." And they went right back to work at that office where you all know they sit the next morning. And they're still there 4 years later, haven't stopped working for their communities of Savannah and Newlands for the entire time, not elected. Can you imagine what they're going to do when they get in office for us? Come on. As the saying goes, you are who you surround yourself with. And Heather has chosen her teammates well. Wayne Panton is a man of integrity who loves his community in a way that constantly has me in awe. And I think the reason why people have such a hard time believing that he does all that he does is because not a lot of people would do all he does. And he does it from his heart, and he doesn't tell anybody about it. So I'm constantly in awe of this man, and it is my pleasure to welcome our next Member of Parliament for the District of Newlands, Mr. Wayne Panton.
Good evening, Savannah. Good evening to the entire Cayman Islands. And good evening to all you wonderful people who joined us tonight, who are sitting here enjoying this incredible evening. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very hard task when you speak after this group of beautiful, capable, intelligent women. Strong women, caring women, women that are the pillars of their families, the pillars of society, pillars of our community. And I include in this incredible lady here too, who is a powerhouse in her own right. She is known not just in Cayman, she's known across the Caribbean too. This is one serious businesswoman. Incredible lady. You know the only problem, ladies and gentlemen, well, maybe not the only problem, but a big problem for us men to follow behind these women. They don't leave nothing unsaid. What we can say? They don't talk about how incredible Heather is. They talk about how big her heart is. They talk about how committed to her community she is. They talk about how she cares about every single person. I mean, I can tell you from my perspective, she inspires me. She inspires me. You know, I go into that office sometimes, and she come like 20 minutes later. I say, where you been? She said, oh, I went and I carried mommy to go get some medication, and then I went and carried this for this man, and then I went and got some cards for these people, and then I went and got a birthday cake for Mr. So-and-so, and I went and carried that for him. He enjoyed it. Oh my God, I had a wonderful day already. Let me tell you, that is her. She got some kind of batteries in her that you can't find nowhere else. Nowhere else can you find the passion and the power, the empathy that this woman here has. And these fantastic women that have spoken ahead of us, they've said so much. I don't know what else to say, because they described her to a T. They know her. It is just amazing when I sit and listen to them. I sit and I listen to them, and I'm in awe of something that I already know about, that I see every day. You, in any part of this country, you, the voters, would want somebody that cares about you like Heather Bodden. You, the voters of this country, would want, any part of this country would want somebody like Heather, who is going to be non-stop on your side, who knows every phone number to call to get something done. And if the first one don't work, she call in the second one. And if the second one don't work, she call in the third one. And if the third one don't work, she get in her car and she go in town and make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, she is unstoppable. She is unstoppable when she is for you and when she is for this community. You can't get a better representative. You can't find a more incredible person and woman. You know, when I'm up at, I'm a night owl. I'm up at 1, 2 in the morning sometimes. And my phone rings. And it's her at 1:30 in the morning telling me about her day, telling me about something that she did that I didn't know about, telling me about how somebody had some problem, and she felt so blessed to be able to help them. I don't know. She must got access to some of the most powerful coffee in the world. Because she up early the next morning going again. She is the epitome of a Wonder Woman, the epitome of an incredible woman. And you know, God must have had this plan for her. He must have had this as a plan, a design for this woman, for this incredible lady, because he knew that one child, two children, three children wouldn't have been enough for her. She needed to love all of your children too. She needed to love you, your children, your families, everybody that you can think of in this community, because that's how she is. She has non-stop love, care, and attention for everybody in this community. And I can tell you, I have been blessed. It's an honor for me to have her as part of the Community Creates Country team, because she is integral to that whole concept. She is integral to the concept of community and building a community. She got plenty sisters. They got children. She loves all of them. She loves all of her extended family. She'll get on the phone, call up so-and-so in Florida, or call somebody else up in Indianapolis or something. How you doing? What's going on? She can't even stay local. She got to be international too. She just spreading it all over. You know, I can stand here and say these things about this lady because every single thing I tell you is true. Everything I observe about her is true. I don't have to make it up. All I have to do is remember, because I've seen her doing it. So, ladies and gentlemen, this lady here, you can do no better. You can do no better than to elect her as your representative for Newlands. You want, Savannah. You see, the problem is we talk about Savannah and Newlands as being one integrated community. So that's where I started and didn't finish. Because it is. And that's why we want, as a team, to be able to represent Heather representing Savannah and me representing Newlands, so that we can provide that kind of integrated service to our community, to build our communities, to continue to serve our communities. I don't know what more there is to say, but I will say this. Number one is her ballot number. Number one is her position in this community in terms of being a representative for the people. Number one is the level of her care and confidence that you should have in her and her care for the community. This lady deserves to be your representative in the community of Savannah. This lady will make you proud. You will never have to worry about being embarrassed. You will never have to worry about a demonstration of lack of integrity or lack of morality. This woman here is as close to being the perfect, amazing woman as you can get. Mommy, I love you too. You're perfect too. But you and her quite alike. So that's how I can say that. No, I'm serious. I tell you, she inspires me every day. Every day she inspires me. And I want you to do yourselves a favor and elect her, because she will inspire each of you. As that other incredible young lady that spoke earlier said, nothing happens around here, nothing goes on in this community that Heather is not usually in the middle of, but certainly around the edge somewhere. And if you see her around the edge, it's just because you didn't see her earlier. She was in the middle earlier and she had just stepped out. Ladies and gentlemen, the three of us, myself, Heather, and Osborne, Ozzy Bodden, we want to take our collective districts to a new level. We want to show the people of this country what community is about, what building community is about. And it's not about talking. Yeah, I can stand up and I can talk plenty. She stands up and does a bit of talking and does everything else for hundreds of other people. You might have other candidates out there that are talkers, but this lady here, she's the only doer that you have. She's the only doer that will get anything done. And I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed if you vote number one on your ballot in Savannah come election day. And let's not forget, you got mobile voting. I think it's Tuesday is the first mobile voting. Tuesday and Thursday. Oh, no, yeah, well, I'm leaving you out for right now. We talking about Heather. Tuesday is us in here. Don't forget, those of you who are mobile voting, this lady here is your number one choice. On April 14th, this lady here is your number one choice. Those of you who are, if you're listening from somewhere else in the world and you've received a postal ballot, this lady here is your number one choice. Don't forget her. You will not get a better representative. Ladies and gentlemen, please do yourself a favor. I have nothing more to add because these amazing ladies have said it all. And they've described her to a T. I can't add anything more to that. Heather, you're number one. Thank you. You're Savannah's number one. And I hope that the people of Savannah recognize that and vote you into office. Because it will be my pleasure to support you in any way I can. Ladies and gentlemen, number one, Heather Bodden, come election day, number one.
Thanks, Weenie.
All right. Thank you.
You leaving? Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Wayne. He actually has another obligation, so he's, yes, leaving right now. Our next speaker, I have known Osborne Bodden, Ozzy, as everybody knows him, for a very long time, many years. I know his love for Cayman and that he has always shown through his lifetime of community work, including his work as a Lion and as a representative for Bodden Town for many years. He served as the Minister for Sports, Health, Community Affairs, and Youth from 2013 to 2017. Ozzy is one of those people who wears his heart on his sleeve when it comes to his community and his country. And now you're going to hear that for yourselves. So help me welcome your next representative for Bodden Town East, Mr. Osborne Ozzy Bodden.
Billy came down. Right back. Hard man for dead. Yeah. Not 9 lives, 99. Good evening, Savannah. Good evening, Cayman. It's wonderful to be here. I have spent a lot of time on this particular plot. 21 years of politics. The first time I ran in 2000 didn't come down here. That was up that side. But after, when I joined the PPM back then in 2001, and I contested the '05 elections, this was the Bodden Town Mecca seat right here. Myself, Mr. Eden, and Mr. Clifford. And then I had a break from politics, '09 to '13, and I came back in '13, and we were right here again. This is where we always seal the deal. Are we going to seal the deal tonight? But we're running under a different banner. We're running under Community Creates Country. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we take that theme very seriously. You've heard a lot and how Heather Oriaya typifies community. I really can't add to what has been said about her, but I can attest to every word of it being very, very true. Because you see, when I was elected back in '05 to '09, she was right there working along with Mr. Eden. And she continued to do that community work. And when Wayne and I went in and became ministers and we opened that office, she was there working for us. And for the last 4 years, she is an unpaid MP. She has been your MP. And not a penny for it, at least not from government. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, to me, it's a no-brainer to elect her on April the 14th. Don't look past. As you look at that paper, the first line, boom, X. Number one. I got to create a little thing, you know, because it's going to take us through to the rally and the finale. And you got dial 113, and we're going to set you free. Sorry, we ain't not here for that. I got to teach him that when he come back. I ain't going because he has to speak on another platform tonight, I think. Hopefully he'll catch it. But we are starting to form some allegiances, and hopefully the three of us will sweep these seats. I'm very confident of that. And when we do that, because you see, the other two are not as political as me. I'm an old animal at this now, 21 years around it. So I have to bring the politics to the table. You have to understand that Bodden Town has always been the mecca of politics in Cayman. No government forms without Bodden Town. You understand? So when you put the three of us and you elect us on April 14th, they ain't forming no government town without us. I don't care who they is. We are demanding seats because we have the largest constituencies. I will have the largest actually. Bodden Town West is right behind that, and Savannah and Newlands is right behind that. We have to represent, and we are going to represent the people of Cayman. We are putting Caymanians first. No excuse. But you see, ladies and gentlemen, none of this can be done without community. And that's why we started very humbly and very slowly. You see, Yaya, my Yaya, your Yaya, has been said, some serious energizer batteries in her. I will go to an event and I will say, oh my, I forgot to tell Yaya about this one. And mind you, I know that she's at another event. And before I leave there, she show up. This woman I swear sometime it more than one of her. She can get around. You've heard it, but I have to say it because I've experienced it myself. She sits there and she just don't deal with Savannah and Newlands. She deal with my people too. She will call and say, Oz, so-and-so came. What's this? Boom, boom, boom. We'll discuss it. I'll give her some advice on it, or she'll send them back to me, whatever. That's how we've been working. So we have been representing and helping all along. The difference with us and the other people, we don't have to blow our trumpet all the time. We don't have to toot our horns all the time because we do it out of love, out of genuine care and compassion. We don't have to say, I'm the first one did this and I'm the only one did that and I did this and I. No, we don't have to do that because our people know. The people out there that we help know. And let me tell you something. We are here because of them. Ladies and gentlemen, these Cayman Islands, you've heard me say before, have developed into beautiful islands. A very glossy picture on the outside, a healthy economy, a lot of good infrastructure. But the one thing that we have not developed as well is our people. Sadly, that's the reality. And we know this because we live it. We are hearing as we canvass, we are hearing even before we decided to run, the issues. The young people that can't get jobs, the young people that can't get homes. It is very disturbing. The older people that can't get insurance or can't afford it if they can get it. Ladies and gentlemen, our handicap challenge people in our community that are neglected, that are locked away and do not have the facilities in Cayman to allow them to be a part and embrace them in our workforce. We are here because of these people, because of the people that we are here, the voice of the voiceless, ladies and gentlemen. And listen to me good. This country, I want you to remember this, and I want you to repeat it as you go about your lives. This country is only as strong as the weakest among us. Remember I told you that. Remember that and tell it and preach it and think about it. We are only as strong as the weakest among us. When we take care of those weak links and we strengthen them, we will have a strong, strong Cayman Islands. And we will be proud. We will leave a legacy to be proud of. I do not want, when I'm in my hammock or on my hospital bed, to have regrets that I didn't do what I could for the future and for the people in this country. The young people in this country, they have a lot more vested than I do because they have a lifetime ahead of them. I can make it from here, I believe. But they can't if we don't do the right thing. If we don't protect our environment, if we do not create entrepreneurial opportunities for them, if we do not get them properly educated, if we do not create and put them into the right jobs, and we do not allow them to own the nice homes like everyone else in this country, there are many that do, but there are too many that don't. We have to do it, ladies and gentlemen. We are the generation that are going to be condemned because we were here, we had a chance to make a difference. But the only how we can make that difference, if you dial 113 and set them free. One in BT East, one in Savannah, and number 3 in Newlands. 113, set them free. Ladies and gentlemen, last night, I had a youth meet and greet at the White House in Bodden Town. It was a lovely event. I had maybe 40 or so attend. And I had Mr. Roy Bodden out, and he gave them a little word of encouragement. And, yeah, man. And we had some refreshments and nice music, and we had a question and answer session. Well, let me tell you something. I had a little committee, my little road warrior group, I call them, put together a little program. And they said, Mr. Bodden, you mind if we have a little question and answer? I said, no, I guess. Let's do it. Well. Did I open myself up to something? Because let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you think we smart? You check our young people. I still have a box full of questions home that I haven't answered yet. Because if I tried to answer them all, we would have been there all night. I answered to the best of my ability for about 45 minutes. And I had some heavy questions from our young people. Ladies and gentlemen, our youth are our today, our tomorrow, and our future. We must protect them. We must fight for them with every sinew of our body. We must guarantee them a good future. And education is the key. Let me tell you, and I had educated ones there last night, and I can tell you the questions were heavy. Sometimes when Robert would read a question, I would go, oh my, I hope I can answer this. I did my best. I think I did all right. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. We have some very, very smart young people, entrepreneurs in this country that will blow your minds if you, and they just need, I had a young man there. He's an artist. He's young, Bodden Town guy, one of the woods. He is so talented, a little rapper. And he gets up and he just does stuff that he has been working on lately. And that young man, he told me, he said, you know, I kind of had stopped it because I don't see any avenue, nowhere to go, no future in it. I promised him, I gave him a commitment that one of the things when elected is to put a music studio in Bodden Town. He is going to have an opportunity to do his thing. And these young people, they reach for the stars and we have to help them. We cannot turn our backs on them. And Yaya and Wayne feel the same way that I do. This lady here that we are here for tonight, she is going to be our backbone. Let me tell you, she has propped us up before, and she's going to keep us honest every time. She is honest, she's compassionate, she's caring, she's loving, and she will make a #1 representative once again for Savannah. And I'm going to say something. You see, Mr. Eden had a legacy in Savannah, in Bodden Town, period. And what were his attributes? Caring, compassionate, loving, always there. Caring, compassionate, loving, always there. Wait, what is the decision? Where is the difficulty in making it? You're just replacing him with a younger version and someone that worked with him, that served in Parliament before, that has experience and has all of you as her children. She is the woman that you must send to Georgetown. She's the woman. You look at the quality. Look at the quality of women that Wayne and I have been surrounded by tonight. It is let me tell you, they're smart on me and him. They are brilliant. You guys are awesome. Maxine, Stephanie, even that little baby, you give her 10 more years, you're going to see what she's going to do. She can come up here at 5. I know I couldn't do that. We have a new breed. We have smart people in Cayman, and they must take their rightful place. And we are giving ourselves one more chance to represent and to be there for you, and hopefully with our experience, guide and protect you. Give us that opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them tell you that they need to keep what they got. Rubbish. What have they been doing for us? Where's the progress? Where is it? Now, last minute, bunch of road works and dock works and I see more works. Foolishness. They're taking you for fools. Don't make them fool you no more. We want full-time representation. You're being paid to represent for 4 years, not 6 months. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is about Heather Diane Bodden, or Yaya. Tonight is her night. But I had to give her that little boost and I had to make you understand certain things when it comes to the politics. But all jokes aside, we are here. We are willing to work with people of like mind. We are willing to form a government with professionals. Don't let them tell you that independents can't form a government. Rubbish. Rubbish. It has been done before and it will be done again. So, ladies and gentlemen, what you're going to dial? 113 and set us free. All right? Thank you. God bless. Love you.
Yeah. Another wow. I can honestly say, as I said when I started, it was an honor to be up here for Heather, but it is an honor to be working with all three of the candidates we are blessed to work with. And I mean that with my whole heart. There could not be three better people that we could have for our country, for our communities. And I am just, again, honored to be working with them. And now it's time for the lady that we're all here for tonight. She's the heart, the soul, and the face of the Savannah community. And I just want to say something here now, because a lot of people have spoken tonight, and everybody says, yes, we know that. We know that about Heather. And I think a lot of people do. But what I need everyone here to do, and everyone watching online to do, is make sure your next door neighbor knows. Because there are a lot of people that have moved into Savannah that don't know Heather. I don't know how, but there are. There are people who do not know what Heather has done. They don't know her 30 years of service to this community. So we need to make sure that those people know the right person to vote to, and they're not fooled by being told something totally out of the ordinary, being told something that's not true, instead of the woman who has been doing the work for 30 years. It would be a shame to not have this woman get the seat that she's earned, she deserves, we deserve to have her there for us. So let's make sure. So my last word is to make sure that your neighbor knows. There are a lot of opportunities for them to meet with Heather, not just tonight. We have a coffee morning coming up on Saturday. I'll talk about other events. Make sure that the person next door to you gets a face-to-face conversation with Heather so they can know what you know about her. So, as has been mentioned, Heather's been working in that Savannah Newlands community office for the past 4 years. She makes a difference in lives, and the people's lives every single day. You've heard it here. Everybody has said it. She is truly a warrior for people. Her passion for the elderly is unparalleled. Her love for her family, community, and country can't be explained in mere words. When it comes to choosing someone to represent your community, there is truly no better choice. Please help me welcome to the podium your candidate for Savannah, number 1 on the ballot, Miss Heather Bodden.
I love you too. Number 1. What a beautiful night. Y'all feel that fresh Savannah breeze? I ordered it. I ordered that from above. It's a beautiful, beautiful night. And I just want to say good evening, Savannah. Good evening to the Cayman Islands. And good evening to all who are watching and listening, whether you're in your cars, you're watching CMR, you're listening on YouTube, whatever you're doing, we just want to welcome you. Ozzy mentioned something earlier about me in the office. While he and Wayne, and I just want to go back a few years. When he and Wayne were both in Parliament or in their ministerial positions, I was at the office. And one day I just got very overwhelmed. And I said, I have to get out of this office and walk over to Dr. Tomlinson's because I'm going to have a stroke. I went over there, my blood pressure was high. Ozzy called and checked on me. I said, Ozzy, all these people are in the office and I'm trying to deal with them, but I'm getting overwhelmed. He goes like, Yaya, slow down. Take it one day at a time. You can't do everything all in one day. Remember? And I was trying to fix everybody's problem in one day. And I got really, really overwhelmed. Anyhow, they told me my blood pressure was high. So Ozzy told me, just sit back and relax. But that was only for a few hours. I got up and I went back to dealing with the people, as you know, all over again. Anyway, thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for being here. It's great to be outdoors under God's open canopy. Just inhaling the fresh air and feeling the gentle breeze makes one realize how fortunate we are to live in our little island. As you all know, this is 1 month. This month is 1 year that we all went into lockdown. But thank God, we're still here. COVID didn't hold us back. We may have been locked down, but we're out now. I would like to thank you all for coming out to my meeting tonight, and much gratitude to all our volunteers who have been pounding pavement. I see a few of you out there, assisting at the office, and basically walking side by side with us. It has been a busy time, but we are an organized and dedicated team who are seeking to do better for you and your children. And I'll pause there. The morning after the 2017 election, I'll never forget it. I thought to myself, my word, what do I do today? I didn't win. Wayne didn't win. Ozzy didn't win. And I thought to myself, what am I going to do? I got up. I had my coffee. I thanked God for another day. I got my shower. I got dressed. Wayne called and said, what are you doing? I said, I'm getting ready to go back to the office. You know what Wayne said? I come in too. We did not shut those doors, ladies and gentlemen. We are still there. And it makes me happy every day that I get in there and I can make somebody's life a little bit better. We are seeking to make our communities better so our country will be better and you will have a better quality of life. As election day draws a little closer, we can begin to feel the momentum building. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, jump on board this train and you won't be disappointed. So, what time is it? Community creates country time. Let's hear it. This upcoming election is very important. In fact, it's critical. There is a lot at stake for all of us. So let me put a focus on some of the topics that are important to all of us. First, unemployment. The high rate of unemployment and underemployment is one of the most crucial issues facing us today. We all know that when that happens, there's low or no employment, people go hungry. People go without health coverage and eventually somewhere to live. This sparks all forms of crime. It also causes social issues, including mental health issues, and places an additional burden on our government. The cost of living is an issue that we need to get on top of for the whole country, but for our seniors too, who have limited income and their buying power is declining. We need to work together to find solutions there. And ladies and gentlemen, if you elect me on April the 14th, I will do all in my power to fix these problems. But I need your help. I need your help. Please remember, April the 14th, I need your help. It will not be easy, but we have identified certain small but help steps that can add up to a meaningful difference. The traffic stresses that we're all facing, even with closed borders, needs solutions. We need a better, more reliable public transport system, which will allow us to restrict new cars coming onto the roads from work permit holders, etc. Honestly, we can't continue with things as they are because it will only get worse and have a greater impact on our country and our quality of life. Tonight, I appeal to each of you to elect the candidates that will do the right thing for you. That is Wayne Panton for Newlands, Osborne Bodden for West East, BT East, Bodden Town East. Elect the candidates that will do the right thing for you. And me, Savannah. Mr. Patton and I will make a very strong team to take Savannah and Newlands forward and make the lives of our residents better. Wayne is a candidate for Newlands, and I am for Savannah. We are individuals who can be trusted. We have lived our entire lives in the Savannah and Newlands communities, and we are dedicated to our communities. I have poured my heart and soul into this community for the past 30 years, working to make what you now call home a safe and desirous place to raise your family. I have made community service a priority, but I need your vote to be able to do more, not only community-wise, but on a national level. In a time as what we have been faced the past year, people are hurting. People need representatives who care. People need a voice, and they need representatives who will listen. You already have that in Mr. Panton and me, given the opportunity to serve you in a higher capacity. I will continue projects such as beautifying our communities. As you all know, I take great pride in seeing a clean and green island. I love to see beauty and cleanliness. And please, my people of Savannah and Newlands, and everywhere that's hearing my voice, take care of your own personal places. If you do that, trust me, our entire country will be a clean country. It is my intention to encourage national pride through actions and changes in behavior within communities, which ultimately enhance the overall quality of life for all residents. I have always advocated for tougher litter laws. The laws are there, yet no one is being made an example of. This has to stop. Today we clean up the litter, tomorrow it's right back there. People, keep your areas clean. Help your neighbors if they need help. Pick up the trash as you walk. If you're out exercising, pick up the trash. We are doing this constantly, but we're seeing it constantly littered as well. People need to take more civic pride in their country. I promise I will work to improve the existing play field and create additional parks with great recreational facilities for our youth. We already have the Savannah and Newlands playfield out here on Pedro Castle Road, and I'd like to thank those volunteers that have been working to help turn it back into something that was beginning to deteriorate over the years. As you know, it's close to the water, to the salt spray. Things deteriorate, and we now need help in getting that field back in proper condition. In the last couple of weeks, we've been holding and hosting events there. We have a young ministerial group from the church that have been volunteering, and they've been doing extremely well with getting things done. But we need all of your help too. It's a place where you can take your families and enjoy the outdoors. It's a safe environment. It's completely fenced. So we just need help in getting the playfield done. Every other community in this country has a proper playfield to some extent. Savannah and Newlands has one that the property was donated by my family. My sisters and I, we take care of it out of our pockets, but we need help to get it to where it needs to be used properly. So anyone who wants to step forward and help us with that field, I say, come on up. Another project I will continue to champion is the elderly. They know they are near and dear to my heart. They built Cayman, and we now need to take care of them. Healthcare and Cynical needs a revamp to work for seniors better. There are elderly people in our communities who cannot afford Cynical, who do not have the health care, whose families are going broke trying to support them as their pensions have run out. They need help and a better quality of life, and I am determined to make a difference for that through advocating for policy solutions, but also getting NGOs and the private sector and other community members involved. For example, I love working with the community restaurants, bringing our seniors together for breakfast and other social events. It is such a happy and delightful time. And many of you here tonight, you probably attended some of those breakfasts with us. I love to see the look on your faces when you see someone you haven't seen in a while. Everyone just lights up. They're so happy to see their family, their friends that they haven't seen in a while. So those events will continue. Of course, I am completely in favor of ensuring that Caymanians get the best possible opportunities in their own country, which is why training and education are so critical now. We must look after our own. We must fill the job positions. We must fill the job positions with our own. Our public schools need to be addressed to have better student performance. We need to address areas of weaknesses in our schools. Our local primary school, just recently renamed the Joanna Clark Primary School, will get a lot of attention and help from Wayne and myself. In fact, we have been working with that school for many years. Those children, there's 475 students attending that school now, and those teachers need help, and we will be there to help them. Savannah Primary School, now the Joanna Clark School, if you need help, we are going to be there for you. We will support that school to address identified weaknesses and improve its performance. We will work with the PTA to address student and teachers' needs. No child should go hungry, and no teacher should be without the supplies they need to teach our children. And I want to say, if there is a need, those teachers need to contact me. We are going to help you all. I make that a promise. We want to improve access for the youth to recreational facilities, to improve their access to vocational training, and to facilitate those that have a desire to pursue further academic training. We will have a staff in our community office in Savannah who will help to facilitate programs and initiatives to help connect young people with opportunities for work as well as education. As Ozzy said earlier, or Wayne said earlier, I'm not a woman to make a lot of talk. I'm more of a doer. I'm not a talker, I'm a doer. So, in closing, I'd like to open up my heart to you and share my innermost feelings. Ladies and gentlemen, I know this is where I belong. Trust me. I know this is where I belong. Working for my people. And believe me when I say to you, it is not a 9-to-5 job. It is not Monday to Friday. It is a 24/7 day of the week job. I put my everything into whatever I do, often at the expense of any kind of personal or social life. I am there for you. If you call me 10:30 at night and tell me that you need something done at my office, that there's an emergency that needs to be a JP stamp, I am there at my office. And some people know that. I have met them there that hour of the night and later and early in the mornings too. But that's because this is my life. It takes a lot of caring and compassion to do this job well. It has to run deep. It can't just be a surface thing. Public service is a calling, and it takes passion and compassion. And I have demonstrated that I have not just done that today or yesterday, but for years now. So tonight, I offer my hands, my heart, all in service to a community we all love dearly. On April the 14th, please consider placing your X next to my name, Heather Diane Bodden, number 1. You don't even have to look past number 1. I am 1 on the ballot. I am number 1 on the ballot. Number 1 by name and number 1 by nature. I will continue to have your interests at heart, and I will listen to your desires for a better Cayman. And you all should know this by now. I love my Cayman Islands. There is nowhere else in the world like our beautiful Cayman Islands. Don't you see all the people that want to come to the Cayman Islands? Our borders are closed, but they want to come. When they get here, they don't want to go back. I am here to serve you. If you know me, you will know I get the job done while others are still thinking about it. Or not doing it. Actions speak louder than words. And my life has been about action, community action. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for your support. Thank you for being here tonight. And I just want to do a big shout out to Stephanie and to Maxine. You ladies rock. My heart was so touched by those kind words. And Rhonda, the same goes for you. And Ozzy, everybody, and Wayne who endorsed me tonight, I am totally, totally touched. I know I can do a lot of things, but the way you all just spilled your hearts out just made me realize that I know what the people in this community need. They need somebody like me who has a heart, who has a soul, and who cares. am not going anywhere. This is my home right here. My mother's house in Newlands. My sister's house is across the street. My sister's house is next door to her. And my other sister is right here. We are here to stay. We grew up here. We're not going anywhere. We know our people, and our people know us. Jay Bodden and Mary Bodden are my parents. They raised good children. My sisters and I, we do a lot in this community, and we work as a team. Whatever I do, my sisters are behind me. My sisters' children are behind me. My little grandniece tonight, she didn't wait to be called up. She ran to the stage. When she was 1 year old, and it was on the cover of the last election program, she singled me out, and she said, "That's Yaya. What Yaya?" We have that on video. So when I asked her if she would do it, she said, "Sure." So she came up tonight. My little Sienna was 1 year old when she said, "Vote for Yaya." At 5 years old, she did that again tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, vote for number 1, Yaya Bodden. God bless you all. Thank you for being here. I love you all. You know that. Dial 113. It has been a great evening. Food is over there. And just so you know, we will be having more home meetings. We will be having more coffee mornings. And the night before election, our rally is going to start right here, and then we're going to take it into Newlands. So the rally starts here, and we head to Newlands, to my mother's yard. So stay on this train, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take it all the way to Newlands. Ozzy's going to meet us here from Bodden Town, and we're all going to go to Newlands for the last meeting. Thank you all. Stay safe. Enjoy the food that's prepared for you. God bless you.
Well, I'm going to we want to just play a real quick video on the screen to my right of Heather talking about the community of Savannah, and then I'll wrap it up with a couple announcements. And yes, please get food.
The Savannah community is near and dear to my heart. I have lived in Savannah and Newlands all my life. I have always made it my mission to look out for those in our society who may not always have a voice. I have served as chairperson for the Savannah and Newlands Community Development Action Committee for the past 29 years. Working within Savannah Newlands, I have organized beautification projects, senior citizens events, neighborhood watch programs, and a host of children's activities. I love this community and I love my country. This is what we mean by community creates country. By working within our communities, we make our country better. I hope to be able to continue my community work on a national level, representing each and every one of you.
I'm actually not sure how every single person in Savannah is not going to vote for Heather. I don't understand it. I'd just like to say we have a lot of events coming up. I'd like to mention just a few really quick, but you can go to voteforcommunity.ky and all of our events are on there. But coming up this Friday, we have an event with Wayne in Newlands and Newlands Heights Park. And that's from 5 to 8. That's for families and food and fun. Ozzy will have an event on Saturday in the afternoon from 2 to 6 at David Powell Playfield. And that's a family fun event. That's the school, the field right by Bodden Town Primary School. And on Saturday morning at 9 a.m., Heather will be at Cafe del Sol right up here at Country Corner for her coffee morning. And on April 1st, Heather will also have a family event in North Sound Gardens. So there are a lot of events coming up, chances to meet with the candidates and ask your questions face to face. That's what they want to do, meet with every one of you. Thank you so much for coming out on April 14th. As Ozzy has said it, vote 113. Heather Bodden in Savannah, Ozzy Bodden in Boddentown East, and Wayne Panton in Newlands. Have a good night.